entertaining and had something to say both.
This is the budget committee.
Okay, everybody take their seat. I'm going to call to order the special board meeting of Tuesday, January 28, 2014. The next item on the agenda is the invocation. If we'd all stand, I ask Alderman Barnhill to give the invocation, and I'll lead the Pledge of Allegiance following that.
Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight in prayer. Thank you for this community and for this great nation that we live in. We know that we have freedoms that many other countries do not have. We give you thanks for these freedoms. We also ask your blessings upon those soldiers and families that are actively involved in protecting our freedoms. We know that it is a hardship on families when they are separated, but we ask your blessings on each of them and ask your blessings on each of our soldiers who are overseas and in foreign countries protecting the freedoms that we so very much cherish. We also ask your blessings upon each of us tonight as we make decisions that ultimately affect the direction in which the city of Franklin grows and goes. We ask that you give us spiritual wisdom and guidance. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 4 on the agenda are grievances or statements from citizens. Citizen comments that are related to items that are not on the agenda. Tonight I have James Stuckey that would like to speak. So if you come to the microphone and make sure you give your name and address. And
Mayor, City Council, Board of Aldermen, thank you for allowing me to be here. My name is James Stuckey. I live at 221 Halberton Drive in Franklin, Tennessee. And the reason that I'm asking to speak tonight is to talk about the leaf removal service that is provided by the City of Franklin, the Franklin Street Department. And I don't think I'm exaggerating when I said I had 37 bags of leaves that I bagged up. It took me Thursday, Friday, Saturday, of 2 weekends, Thursday and Friday and Saturday, to bag up that many leaves, and then I still had to hire somebody to come out and remove the rest of them. And it was quite a chore, and I couldn't understand why everywhere else in the city of Franklin you can sweep your leaves to the curb, and the vac truck would come by and suck up the leaves. And so I tried to investigate this and had some pretty good conversations with the street department, and basically they just said it's their policy not to pick up leaves on streets that are considered to be private streets. And I look at all the services that are provided in our neighborhood of Fieldstone Farms, and we have trash service. We can put tree limbs and brush and stuff out by the curb, and they'll pick that up. They'll pick up recycling. We have fire. We have ambulance. We have mail. We have UPS trucks, FedEx trucks. I mean, every community service, every state, every federal service is provided to our neighborhoods, except for leaf pickup. That's the only one that isn't provided. And I guess I don't understand that. As a tax-paying citizen, I pay the same taxes that they do a couple houses over where they do pick up the leaves. And so I'm just trying to kind of get to the bottom of this as to maybe where this policy came from, or who made this policy, and how do we get it changed. So I would appreciate your consideration of this issue. If there's anything that can be done, and if I need to rally a bunch of members of my neighborhood to come down here and talk to you, I'll be happy to do that as well. So thank you for your time.
thank you for your comments. Dory Bowles. She wants to speak concerning city or working with the city on sewer and drinking water. Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm Executive Director of the Harpeth River Watershed Association. My name's Dory Bowles. I just want to take a few moments just to address the board. As you know, in early January, our organization sent a notice of intent to sue to the City of Franklin and to the 2 small sewer plants for...
I'd like for you to stick to working with the city rather
Oh,
than...
I will. That's
Okay.
exactly, because
Okay.
obviously that's what prompted it.
All right, thank you.
Don't worry. And the 2 other sewers plants. We reviewed 5 years of files and have identified problems. This is not something we just did lightly. We've been working for over 12 years on sewer and water issues, all related to our goal, which is to improve the water quality in the Harpeth so that it meets water quality standards. We've provided a lot of analyses that have actually been part of some of the work we did with the city on drinking water issues back in 2006 and 2007. And we've done a lot of work that have been provided in permit comments as well, and to you all. Every time we put anything together, we send it to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen along with everybody else that we work on. Some of our work also has identified new funding that would be helpful in terms of collaborating. If all the permittees would like to collaborate, that would involve some of the money that's needed for river studies that are needed to find out how much pollution the river can handle. That will help set new permits. We're very interested in working with you on all of this. We've already had initial discussions with the other 2 permittees. We're looking forward to meeting with you. And I just wanted to make sure you knew that. And I also just wanted to state in closing, we've enjoyed very much working with the City of Franklin. Many of the departments had a great, it was a lot of work for everybody, but doing the Lowhead Dam removal and restoration project was a big deal. And our organization worked very hard for the City of Franklin. The project was $734,000, and you only had to pay for 1/3 of it. And we were able to find a big grant as well as secure some other funds for that project. And we're very proud of what we've been able to do for you. And obviously it was City of Franklin, HRWA, TDEC, a lot of people involved in that project. We enjoyed putting the timber stairs together out there with the Parks Department, love working with the Parks Department, and have enjoyed working with the City Engineering Department on stormwater issues and all those challenges. And so I just wanted to end with just saying, we're ready to work with you. We always have been. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Any communication from the Williamson County Mayor or the County Commission? I see none. We'll move on to the approval of minutes from January the 14th, 2014 work session, January 14th, 2014 Board of Mayor and Aldermen. I entertain a motion.
Move for approval.
Appropriate
Second.
motion, second by Alderman Barnhill. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item number 7 are recognitions. The first recognition I have is from the International Association of Chiefs of Police Center for Social Media, who recently released their report on the nation's top followed police Twitter accounts. The Franklin Police Department, also known as @Franklin Tennessee PD, was ranked number 4 in the United States for police departments with 100 to 249 sworn officers. The department's Twitter feed, managed by Sergeant Charles Warner, earned that ranking with their 7,579 followers and growing. Sergeant Warner recently said it's all about meeting people where they're most comfortable and starting conversations about things they find relevant. One of these places is very obviously on Twitter. So congratulations on that honor. Next, I have a proclamation to read concerning National Wear Red Day. Heart disease is the #1 killer of women, yet is often preventable, and an estimated 43 million women in the U.S. are affected by cardiovascular disease. And in celebration of the 10th birthday of National Wear Red Day on February the 7th, 2014, Go Red for Women is asking all women across America to go red by wearing red and speaking red. They ask also to get your blood pressure checked, stop smoking, lose weight. And educate your family and don't be silent. So therefore, I, Ken Moore, Mayor of the City of Franklin, recognize the importance of the ongoing fight against heart disease and stroke, and do hereby proclaim Friday, February the 7th, 2014, to be National Red Day in Franklin, Tennessee. Wear Red Day, so wear red on February the 7th. So, thank you. Okay, any other miscellaneous reports? Alderman Skinner.
Yes, we have to talk about Civil War Roundtable. Amy Murrell Taylor, Associate Professor of History at the University of Kentucky, is the author of Divided Family in the Civil War America. And she is going to give a different perspective about the war from the family side. And of course, this is held at the Franklin Police Headquarters Community Room. This presentation is February the 9th on Sunday at 3 o'clock, and this is free and open to the public.
Just after National Wear Red Day.
Yes.
Good. Okay, Mr. Stuckey.
I just had one real quick update. On our end of our agenda, we always provide a listing of city meetings and events, and there's one item we should have listed but did not, and that is next Wednesday on February 5th from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. This board will be holding a strategic planning work session, and that will be held in the community room at the police department, in the police headquarters facility. So just wanted to make sure that that was recognized, that that'll be part of our agenda as well in terms of meetings.
Very good. Any other recognitions? Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda. All items under the consent agenda are deemed to be non-controversial and routine in nature by the governing body. They will be approved by, recommended by committee or staff by one motion of the governing body. The items on the consent agenda will not be discussed. We're considering items number 19 through 27 tonight. Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Appropriate motion,
Second.
seconded by Alderman Blanton. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, passes unanimously. Item number 10, new business, consideration of resolution 2014-10, a resolution to authorize the city of Franklin to submit an application to the Tennessee Historical Commission for the Federal Preservation Grant Program.
Move for approval.
Appropriate motion, seconded by Alderman Bransford. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, passes unanimously. Item number 11, consideration of resolution 2014-11, a resolution to amend and restate the City of Franklin Employees Pension Plan. Is there a motion?
So move.
Second.
Appropriate motion, second by Alderman Blanton. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, passes unanimously. Item number 12, consideration of the assignment of contract between City of Franklin and Southern Sun Financial Management, City of Franklin Contract 2012-0027. Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
Appropriate motion, seconded by Alderman Berger. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, passes unanimously. Item 13, consideration of lease extension with Bank of America to include Kronos HR Software, City of Franklin Contract 2014-0022. Is there a motion?
So move.
Second.
Appropriate motion, seconded by Alderman Bransford. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, passes unanimously. Consideration of Jordan, number 14, consideration of Jordan Road traffic calming request.
I'll move for approval with comment.
Appropriate motion, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded. Open for discussion. Alderman Berger.
I've been working with the residents over on Jordan, on the Royal Oaks area for over a year, a good year. We had a community meeting with about 80 people that showed up. They were a great neighborhood, right, Carl? They, Carl and Paul Holzen came to that meeting, and it was a great meeting, and we talked about a lot of the issues because they have such horrible times getting in and out, access on Royal Oaks on the Royal Oaks area from London Lane and then out on Jordan Road. And so it's a tough neighborhood on and off to get out, and once you get on Jordan, you go down to Liberty, and then you go up to 96, and you can only take a right there, and then we have issues with Liberty because we're so close to Mac Hatcher. So they've got some issues there, and one of the things we have a problem with in Jordan is the speeding on Jordan. and it is 30 miles an hour, and we mostly have people going 40 and 50 down that road. So we worked with them. We got the consensus, basically, of a lot of the people there. There were some ideas of putting stop signs. We went through the whole gamut. And then we had another meeting. Actually, before that meeting with the 80 people, we had another meeting earlier, the earlier year, and got a lot of input as well. So they've been asking for issues pertaining to that neighborhood to try to resolve some of them. This is just one. So we did a petition, and I believe there were 8 people on that block, and 1 did not answer. It was the people on Jordan and right in off of Jordan, if I'm correct, Carl. And I believe, I'm correct, that said that we sent it out to 8 homes. They were the buy-ins for that area. And I believe everyone answered in favor of it, and one could not be reached. And that was to look at your agenda to put up the flashing lights to tell people how fast they're going, because a lot of times you get down that hill and you don't realize how fast you're going. So we had these in stock, and the street departments and Carl, and we all agreed that this might be helpful to them, and that was one of the things they could do, rather than trying to put a stop sign on Jordan and stopping people. So I will support this tonight. I know 2 of the families could not be here tonight that wanted to be here, and they have asked me to speak for them and to answer any questions that you might have.
Any other questions or comments?
Comment?
Alderman Blanton?
Yes. We did talk about this in CIC, and there's a 3-to-1 here, and I'm the one opposed. I lived off Jordan Road for 9 years, so I'm very familiar with this road. And to correct you, you can take a left off of Jordan onto Liberty. It may not always be easy, but you can do it. And there is a problem, because, and a little background, Jordan Road starts at Highway 96, close to Station 3, 2, oh. And it goes like this, and it goes up to the crest, and then it goes down, and then it comes slightly up again till you end at Liberty. You're right, it is a natural pull. When you go down that hill, you speed up. I think this initially got proposed, 2 neighbors who live right below Churchill came and worried about their children and their animals. I think they'd even had a mailbox hit or something. So I'm not saying that it's not an issue. My problem is they call these driver feedback signs. For those of you who've been around, it was what used to be on Lewisburg Pike right before the Adams Street split. They're a placebo. I mean, there's no consequences. Hey, you're going too fast, slow down. But nobody's ever going to write you a ticket. So to me, if you live in that area, you're the person that frequents that road. After a week or 2, when you realize there's no consequences and the policeman's not sitting up at the church like he used to during my tenure, you're going to forget about it. I mean, I had to self-discipline myself to go, okay, it's 30. It's really hard to go 30, but I know that 9 times out of 10, Franklin's Finest is going to be sitting at the church at the end of the road, and I don't need a ticket. I talked to Parker earlier, and to me, it makes sense, which he said stop signs should not be used for traffic calming devices. That's new to me, but I know they did not want speed humps. That's something that we had given them the option of. But the other thing that bothers me about this is if you look at what we're saying is we're going to pour concrete and put these signs in the ground facing north and south that makes them permanent when it's really just a temporary fix. I'm not saying that we need to take up residence at the church from now until eternity so that people know there's always going to be a policeman there, but and I do think safety is important. If I had children and lived right there, I would worry about them approaching the street too, but I just can't support something that's a placebo. And it's based on my experience of living there, so.
Alderman Brand.
And I will be supporting this because it is a placebo. It is a step to it's an initial step. It's not what the thing, don't trying to get perfect, don't throw away the possibility of creating something in order to trying to reach perfect. So this is an attempt to put something in place Now, this is not to say 6 months, a year, or 2 years from now that we're looking at something different. But to give some degree of something, I will support this.
Alderman Berger.
Well, can I ask Dan Klatt that they are not permanent? They were put in front of his house and they were promptly taken away.
Right, so that's
But-
$1,000.
But it didn't cost $1,000 to yank that out of the ground. But, you know, they are not permanent, so, you know, a year or two, if we decide that they're not working and it's not, and we need them somewhere else, we could pull them up and take them out. A placebo also is our officers ticketing people and giving them a ticket. That's a placebo as well.
Costly.
We've had mailboxes, 4 mailbox replacements here in the last 2 years, a dog killed, and a special needs child lives on that road too. And there's a lot of different elements that go along with the people on Jordan Road. This will also not be the only fix. We will still have it monitored. The police have assured me they will still be monitoring Jordan Road. So you never know when a policeman is going to be sitting out there monitoring your traffic. But we can't continuously monitor that road. That's another problem. We can't always have a policeman out there. So having that and letting you know, I don't know about you, but when I'm driving down a road and I see those, I look to see what it says. I think it's just automatic that we look to see what it tells us. And if we see that it's a 30 miles an hour zone and we're going 40 or 32 or 33, it's just automatic. I think most of us will want to slow down. So hopefully that will help.
Ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Fails, passes 5-2. Okay, on to item number 15, consideration of mayor's appointment to the Batterfield Preservation Commission. And if it's okay with the board, I would like to have you vote en masse on all these. Pam Lewis, as a representative from the Tennessee Preservation Trust, Thomas Flagel from the Education Liaison, Jim Roberts from Battle-Related Property Owners, and Jay Sheridan, member at large. So I'd entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next is consideration of mayor's appointment to the Board of Zoning Appeals. Greg Caesar. We'd like to enter his name and look for a motion of approval.
So move.
Second.
Appropriate motion second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Number 17, I don't have a nomination tonight, so I'll have to come back with you on another date. Number 18, consideration of mayor's appointment to the Stormwater's Appeal Board. I appoint Bob Martin to assume the slot normally occupied for nonprofits and neighborhood organizations, and would look for approval.
So move.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? I see Alderman Skinner and then Alderman McClendon.
Mr. Mayor, we all received an email from Dory Blows today at 9:33 a.m., and I would like to just have that document entered into the record. I'm not going to read it. I'll just enter
Okay.
this. It's the same one we all received that were sent to alderman, staff, and administration.
Thank you.
I also want to say that I'm probably the one that's worked with Dory the most on stormwater. And her knowledge and expertise was invaluable in helping us come up with some of the basics. And also, she's been working with Williamson County with their stormwater ordinance. I'm sorry to see that she's being replaced, and I believe that our stormwater program will suffer from it. And I'm going to vote no, but it's not really about Bob Martin. I just think maybe we're doing this for the wrong reason.
Alderman McClendon.
I respectfully disagree with Mr. Skinner. We're doing it for the right reason. If anyone, picture for a moment a scenario where I, in the capacity of my day job, take on, say, a fired department head as a client and write a demand letter to the city for fees, injunctive relief, penalties, court costs, and other appropriate remedies. Were I to take a client and threaten to sue the city or sue the city, would the citizens of this community not demand my resignation as alderman? Would they not be entitled to it? Of course they would. Ms. Bowles has every right to pursue whatever endeavors she chooses during the day. But when you are the executive director of a group that sends a letter indicating that we will soon be a defendant with her group, the plaintiff, in federal court, where they will seek fines, penalties, attorney's fees, court costs, and other appropriate remedies, then it is not the city that has made a choice. There is no question that this is the appropriate remedy for the city. None. And I applaud the mayor for doing it.
Other comments? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No. Passes 6-1. I'd entertain a motion to enter into executive session.
So moved. Second then.
Appropriate motion second. All in favor say aye. Considered from the executive session. Alderman McClendon.
Mayor, I move that the city reject Rock City's latest demand for settlement.
Second.
Appropriate motion second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. Are there any other matters to consider from executive session? Alderman McClendon.
Mayor, I move that the city approve a settlement with the Moores in the condemnation case with a contribution of $14,750.
Second.
Appropriate motion second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Appropriate motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.